Thank you, Brother Muhammad Isa. Next, we have Constable Abdul Qadir. Constable Abdul Qadir Abdi was born in Somalia and came to Canada in 1989. He joined the Ottawa Police Service in 2004, where he worked in general duty patrol, community policing, and training new recruits as coach officer. Constable Abdi is currently a 2-year secondment with the RCMP National Security Community Outreach Program. He has extensive experience working with diverse communities. Constable Abdi was a volunteer speaker for the United Way of Ottawa and was recognized with several awards, including the Community Builders Award. He volunteers with Muslim communities in hopes of building relations with mainstream Canadian society and law enforcement. Constable Abdi is a board member of the United Way Ottawa and recipient of the Queen Diamond Jubilee. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you, special guests. Thank you, Imam Dilaj. I did listen to your speech. It was very inspirational, as well as the sister. Thank you to all the parents who've given the time, the efforts. Thank you for all the special guests who've attended, taken the time from their very busy schedule to be here on this very special occasion to recognize these young people as they move on to their next stage in their life. And thank you to the school administration, the staff who've done a wonderful job over the many years through the tough times. As a Somali community member, pretty much growing up in this community, I know all the sacrifices that my folks have put in terms of the work of the Islamic school. I know the parents who have been cooking food on the weekends at Vincent Massey Pack that we don't remember, but I'd like to go back to that in a minute. Thank you to all those mothers who would cook burgers, who would bring the salad, who would hustle to go to the basic food, to pick up all the stuff. We haven't forgotten that. Don't think we did. Thank you very much. The reason why these kids are here today is because of all that stuff. For the young lads, you would not be sitting here if those burgers were not sold for $1.50 or whatever they were sold at the time, because it was just that amount of money that would go into some of the stuff that you guys have had the privilege. As the Imam mentioned, some may not consider this school to be an elite school, but it is an elite on its own. I know nothing but good things that have come from the school. I know being out there in the community, I'm aware of what's happening in terms of school and ratings and education. And I remember there was somebody, when I told them yesterday at the RCMP office there that I was going to come to this event, and they told me, oh yeah, that Ottawa Islamic School, I heard they're doing really well. Apparently they were ranked #1 or something like that. And I said, yeah, that must be it. Of course, I'm not going to argue. I just believe that is the case. Now, you guys didn't get there simply because of hard work just from your end. You got there because they're going to be teachers who've given the time, as a matter of fact, who took pay cuts to do the work. Teachers who've had dreams, they could have done actually other jobs, perhaps have the opportunity or been offered other jobs, and they chose not to take that. They choose not to take that because they knew it's not about the money, but it's the impact that it is making on their community, on their religion, on the young people that they have brought before us today. So let's just take a moment for all those teachers who really, and school administration. I say teachers simply because those are the people who are always in the classroom and telling you, Halima, Muhammad, you know what I'm talking about. And not only that, but later on as I go through this speech here, I'm going to tell you some things that they would love to tell you in the class, but they couldn't tell you in the class. So I'm going to try to tell you that later on. So let's take a moment and thank all those teachers who've actually sacrificed all this time so that you guys could be here today. Say Alhamdulillah to all your teachers. Why don't you guys stand up and thank all your teachers? Get up and thank them for a minute. Stand up, get up. Turn around and say thank you to all your teachers. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Now you can sit down, that's pretty good. I know it's about you today, but trust me, if the car did not have any gas, it probably wouldn't have made it through the journey. And I know that gas and all that energy is because of all the hard work your teachers have put in. And so let me thank the teachers again, once again. Sincerely, I know as a community member, being out there in the community, I know all the work that you do, so thank you very much. So I'm not going to try to be too long. As a police officer, of course, we're out there, and our job is to deal with the members of the public and to make our country, our community a better place. That is the case. There's a girl standing here trying to take a picture. Let me turn around, look good. All right. So that's what we have to do. That's our job. And I'm telling you one thing, I've been in Canada now. When I got here, I think most of you were not born. So don't let this young-looking face fool you. I'm not a young guy. Having said that, here's what I remember. A story from my commencement days. I actually did not know we had commencement at school. I came from a part-time job. I was on the 146. I went to Brookfield High School, and I saw lots of cars in the parking lot. And I was wondering what the heck was going on in my school. So I got off the bus, and somebody told me today is the commencement day. And I went in, I looked, my name was on the list. I took these gowns you guys are wearing. The next thing I was sitting there. That's the true story. Now the reason is why did I end up there? It's not because I wasn't paying attention, but because the way you guys are taken care of today by your parents, man, oh man, you guys are lucky. You are very, very lucky. Because a lot of us who came earlier in this country did not have that luxury. We did not have that luxury. And I know the Imam was talking a little bit about thanking your parents and never forgetting them. So I think that's a very, very important thing that you guys have to remember. So again, going back to my job as a law enforcement, that's what we're supposed to do, is we're supposed to take care of what's happening in our community. And I'll tell you one thing. There's something the Imam said earlier, I remember his speech, and he said you got to keep your chin up and high. You cannot, let me repeat this, you cannot go through this country if you think you're second class. You cannot go through this country if you think that you're here for a couple of years temporarily. You cannot. You have to go through this country knowing that you pay taxes like everybody else, you contribute, you vote, you're given all these rights, not so that you can put them in a shelf, but you're given these rights so you can actually use them. So when I decided to join the police service, I decided to join the police service because it was going to contribute to Canada. Not just the Somali community or the Muslim community, but to Canada. And for me now having the opportunity working with the RCMP, traveling around the country and going different parts of the country and even outside of Canada, I have that opportunity of not only representing Canada, but also representing a Muslim individual as well as a Somali individual. The way you do that though is not keeping your chin down. You have to keep your head up. And you're going to have lots of hiccups. You know hiccups? Not the ones. I'm talking about hiccups along the way. There are going to be people who are going to doubt you. There are going to be people who may not give you the opportunity. They will not give you the opportunity. They may have a reason or whatever that might be. But the point is, you cannot turn around and say, Hoyo, I just can't seem to find a job because every time I put my job resume, they put it in the garbage. You cannot go life like that. You cannot. You don't expect sympathy. Come with 100 resumes, give them around, do whatever you got to do. You're going to get hiccups. There are going to be people, you can't be saying the coppers are always stopping me because of this and this. You can't be coming with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of excuses, because if that's the way you're going through life, you aren't going to reach anywhere. Especially for the guys, you have to understand that the role that you're going to be playing in your community, just like the girls, is going to be that important. But I don't know what it is, but it seems a lot of the girls in our community, from what I heard from YouTube, are doing really well, right? But the question is, what's happening with the guys? Well, this is a perfect example, right? Here you have a group of individuals who worked very hard, and they're taking it to the next level. As you move through, therefore, in your next stage of life, I wish you good luck. Administration, I want to thank you. You've gone through tough times. I know the principal here. When it comes to weekends, painting the school. Folks, those are the things, for those of you who are not necessarily very much involved in the school, you would know is that there's a lot of stuff that takes place. A lot more stuff takes place on the weekend than probably on the weekdays. And that's because of the way the school administration and the staff and the board is trying to make the Ottawa Islamic School the best school it is. And finally, the parents. You know, all the parents who are here, again, I'm being a little bit selfish because I'm looking at the Somali angle. That's where I was born and bred and lived. And all I can tell you is, Somali parents, Allah, especially mothers, your sacrifice, I always tell people, the sacrifice, the investment Somali mothers especially put towards the young people If that was supposed to be put in the New York Stock Exchange, I think it probably would be off the roof. And the reason why is because you guys are the best investors, the most responsible investors, and the most hardworking investors, and your investment shows throughout our community. So thank you to all the parents. I extend that simply to the mothers because I know a lot of the tough work they go through. So I know I digress, but finally I'm going to look at you guys. I'm going to look at you girls. There's two girls here that are looking at me. Yeah, the two of you. I'm going to look at you guys and I'm going to say to you, I wish you nothing but the best. May Allah be with you. And please, whatever you do, please, this is the only message I'm going to leave you with. If there's anything I'm going to leave with you, is this one. And this is to reinforce what the Imam said. Do not forget the sacrifice your parents have put towards you. And it's going to start today. After this, these things are going to come off, and it's going to be like Hoyo. I'm going with Muhammad, and we're going to come in at 1 o'clock. Well, guess what? The job starts tonight, and if Hoyo says no, it means no. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.